Canada facts. It is the second largest country in the world, right after Russia. Canada is the world's most educated country, over half its residents have college degrees. Canada's lowest recorded temperature was -81.4 degrees Fahrenheit (-63 C) in 1947. It has more lakes than the rest of the world's lakes combined. Canada consumes more macaroni and cheese than any other nation in the world. Residents of Churchill, Canada, leave their cars unlocked to offer an escape for pedestrians who might encounter polar bears. Prostitution is legal in Canada. Buying the services of a prostitute is not. The first Canadian casualties of the Afghanistan War were from an American pilot bombing a training exercise. License plates in the Canadian Northwest Territories are shaped like polar bears. In 2010, a Canadian man rescued a newborn baby from a dumpster, only to find out he was the father. Canada has the largest coastline in the world. In Newfoundland, Canada, the Atlantic Ocean sometimes freezes so people play hockey on it. Every Christmas, 1 million letters are addressed to Santa Claus at his own postal code, HOHOHO, North Pole, Canada. With 1,896 kilometers (1,178 miles), the Yonge Street in Canada is the longest street in the world. The Mall of America is owned by Canadians. The US-Canada border is the longest international border in the world and it lacks military defense. Canada has no weapons of mass destruction since 1984 and has signed treaties repudiating their possession. After the attack on Pearl Harbor during WW II, Canada declared war on Japan before the US did. Canada is an Iroquoian language word meaning village. Canada's official phone number is 1-800-0 Canada. Large parts of Canada have less gravity than the rest of Earth. The phenomenon was discovered in the 1960s. Large parts of Canada have less gravity than the rest of Earth. The phenomenon was discovered in the 1960s. Police departments in Canada give out positive tickets when they see people doing something positive. Americans have invaded Canada twice, in 1775 and 1812. They lost both times. Canada has the third largest oil reserves of any country in the world after Saudi Arabia and Venezuela. The third country in space, after the US and the USSR, was Canada, which was considered to have the most advanced space program in 1962. In Canada, Mexico, India, Russia, and Israel, banknotes have Braille-like markings on them for the blind. Canada has fewer people than Tokyo's metropolitan area. During WW II, Canada gave out buttons to people who tried to enlist but were refused due to medical reasons to show their willingness to fight. The Eiffel Tower was almost temporarily relocated to Canada in 1967. Canada consumes the most donuts and has the most donut shops per capita of any country in the world. The North American beaver is the national animal of Canada. Canada and Denmark have been fighting over an uninhabited island by leaving each other bottles of alcohol and changing their flags since the 1930s. Ontario, Canada, has more than 250,000 lakes. They contain about 1/5 of the world's fresh water. There's a service called Cleaning for a Reason in the US and Canada that cleans the houses of women with cancer for free so they can focus on their health. When flights got diverted or grounded during 9/11, Canada housed, fed, and sheltered over 33,000 passengers. It's estimated that 93,000 Canadians live in the US with expired visas, more than any other group of the immigrant. The Canadian province of Alberta has been rat-free for over 50 years. The Hawaiian pizza was invented in Canada and is the most popular pizza in Australia. The Dildo is a town on the island of Newfoundland, Canada. One of the 13 articles in the 1781 U.S. Articles of Confederation states that if Canada wants to be admitted into the U.S., it will automatically be accepted. In 2015, a Canadian man was arrested after trying more than 100 balloons to a garden chair and flying over the city of Calgary. People from Canada can order a portrait of Queen Elizabeth II and have it shipped to them for free. In Canada, it's illegal to carry a product designed for personal protection against a human attack, including pepper spray. In Canada, due to a chronic shortage of coinage, playing cards were once used as currency. Babies in Britain, Canada and Italy cry more than elsewhere, says an international study. Canada is just 1.5% larger inland than the USA. Before he was the Canadian Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau worked as a nightclub bouncer and a snowboarding instructor. There is a strip club in Ontario, Canada that doubles as a church on Sunday. Alternative names proposed for Canada in 1867 were Baialia, Cabotia, Transatlantic, Victorialand and Superior. Canada has a strategic maple syrup reserve to ensure global supply in case of emergency. Canada's national parks are free for kids. Canada's national parks are free for kids. The town of Dildo in Newfoundland has an annual festival, Dildo Days, which is led by their mascot, Captain Dildo. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more.